Welcome everybody to episode 141 of the effing title. I'm Big Husky, and we got Fedge and Rob with us. Guys, how you doing?
Good.
I am doing.
All right. Last week I went 5-11. Rob went 4-12. Fedge went 8-8. We all
Don't call it a comeback.
we all lost our locks, and the records are now 24-24, 23-25, 22-26.
Nice.
So, looking forward to this week. Thursday night football. Dolphins at Bengals.
Should be a good game. So my concern before we go into this is that as anyone with a Dolphins fan, they should be worried not because of their team, but I mean you're coming off an emotional win over the Bills in Heat. Hopefully they get it. There's as far as hopefully they get rehydrated from that, which is a difficult thing running on a short week. So. And then you also a couple different things. You're dealing with a lot of injuries, as were the Bills last game. But obviously, most significant probably is Tua, who they still say is a back ankle issue going on right now. And they actually last thing I read was actually his status is in doubt. So working on this short week is an issue for them. And with the limited time that, excuse me, Teddy Bridgewater had last week against the Bills. Didn't look pretty, to say the least. And not to mention that they actually just left today, apparently, this being the Dolphins, or today or yesterday. I think it was yesterday, actually, because they wanted, it was yesterday that they left, so they could get there today to ensure that they can get out before this hurricane comes into Miami. Mm-hmm. So, not only is their travel plans messed up, they're dealing with injuries, potentially hydration issues if they don't get that, squared away. It's just issues around. So that's questionable. And then also, I always like to side with defensive teams, so that would push me normally. Rob and I have talked about this, but normally would push me to Miami. But in this case, I am going to go with the Bengals because it's at home on a short week. It's getting later into the season. I like the home teams not having to travel as well. But on the same side of things, we're going to see if the Dolphins can run the ball with the Bengals missing their star nose tackle here coming up. But whose name currently escapes me, I apologize for that. If anyone wants to throw it out there and tell me who it is, that'd be wonderful. But it escapes me at the current. What was it?
Atkins.
Then no. That's not what I was thinking of.
Star player.
Well, you keep going. I'll find it for you. Don't worry. Okay.
DJ Reader.
Yes, there you go. So.
Yeah, I don't think.
Yes, obviously Geno Atkins was the one that of old, but that's their big signing in the offseason, and he's injured, and I guess it's actually worse than originally thought, which is not a good thing. So, but yeah, okay.
For those reasons and more, I am also going with the Bengals.
I'm going to make it a clean sweep, and I'm also going to go Bengals. So now, as we were talking about right before we started recording this, we got the 9:30 a.m. game in England. Vikings at Saints in England.
Yeah, I don't know. The Saints look fucking terrible in offense. Terrible.
Yeah, the Saints.
The Saints look. Yeah, I agree. Their defense is still there. But the same could be said about the Vikings. I mean, without what they played one quarter last week and ended up squeaking out a victory.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Freaking, I mean, it was more of the Lions giving them the game, which is unfortunate because I think all of us actually chose the Lions last week.
Yep.
A little change of tide game there, but I don't know. It's going to be tough. I also think that I don't know if you guys know, but I don't know if you've heard yet, but I don't know if they've actually made a ruling on Dalvin Cook yet after his dislocated shoulder last week. So that'd be another big thing for that offense to have to deal with. Right now, Justin Jefferson is showing that he can't get off coverage when good corners with him. Okuda shut him down last, or Okuda shut him down last week. The week before that, he got shut down. I forget who they played the week before that, but got shut down. Outside this first, game of the year, he hasn't done much of anything, and now he's going against Marcus Lattimore, who's no slouch himself. So I think the Vikings are going to struggle to move the ball. But I think if Cook plays, I'm going with the Vikings in this one. Though.
I'm going to go with the Saints. I just think the Saints are going to lock them down offensively. And I think that it's going to be I think it's going to be a battle of which offense can kind of do something. And I'm going to go with the Saints on this one. I don't like the Vikings. I think the Vikings are pretenders.
I think they are too, but the Saints offense has just been so bad. It's been so bad that I have no confidence in them being able to score 10 points, let alone enough to beat a pass-happy team. So I'm going to go with the Vikings.
All right, now we're at the 1 o'clock games. Browns Falcons.
Who?
The Browns at Atlanta.
I will never pick Atlanta. Go Browns.
I was gonna say, do we really need to? Is this one we need to talk about? Because I'm also going
Is this
Browns.
at Atlanta?
This is in Atlanta, yes.
In Atlanta, I'm going with Atlanta.
Okay.
I like it because Atlanta showed some last week. Cordell Patterson, I don't know where this guy's coming from, but he's still continuing to run the ball well. Atlanta actually looked pretty decent last week, I thought. And the Browns, in my opinion, were less than stellar. The thing favoring the Browns is they were able to play on Thursday night, so they did have 10 days to get ready for this game. But I think if Atlanta can slow down Chubb, Jacoby Brissett has been making way too many errors, as well as Amari Cooper just running out of bounds for absolutely no reason whatsoever. But also, I like Drake London. Drake London has been looking pretty good here. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Atlanta and a little upset here. I like it.
I do think Atlanta is last year's Lions, and I think that one more draft class and they'll be a decent team.
Okay.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, they've been having good draft classes. I mean, I agree with you there. The only difference is that I didn't love it last year, and I think we all kind of talked about this. It was one of those that, yes, he's one of the top players in the draft, but did you really love the actual pick for it? Because it's like, oh, it's not going to really provide.
Right. There was a bigger need than Kyle.
Instant, gratification. But the fact that they went out and got Sewell last year was phenomenal. I love that.
Mm.
Loved it now. Now looking 2 years later, love that they got him. I mean, I think he's actually the highest rated tackle in the league right now.
Probably.
And now you go and you get Jameson, you get Okuda's coming back healthy. It's just they're heading in the right direction. But I agree with Rob. I mean, Atlanta's having some good draft classes, and but the same thing, Rob. I mean, what happened with the Lions last year? This is about that time when they took Baltimore to a 75-yard field goal to win a game. So
yeah.
Let's see if Atlanta can switch it here a little bit. That's my hope to it. So at least. But
speaking of Baltimore, Bills at Baltimore.
I think this is gonna be a pretty good game. A pretty good game. What's up? Sorry, go ahead, Rob.
The Ravens defense is not good.
No, I'm not sure what the fuck. I've already forgotten. I think it's Mike McDaniel. Is that the kid? Is that the guy's name? Our new DC from Michigan. Whoever it is, I'm not used to seeing this sort of a defense, and I don't think it's working.
They don't stop the run. They really don't stop the pass. I mean, the Patriots have a lot of issues, and they were moving the ball pretty much at will. They just had red zone turnovers that cost them. But I think every good team the Ravens play, I do think they're going to lose because I don't think until their defense shows that they can consistently create pressure. And I mean, Jason Pierre-Paul with his 3 fingers is gonna fucking come out of retirement and create pressure. So.
Actually, Rob, he's wearing the jersey number 4, which is also the number of. I can't make that joke.
Yeah, that's wrong because he only has 3. So wrong.
I'm going with the Bills, even though they're battered. You can give up points to the Ravens because you're going to score points against the Ravens.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like, the new DC is doing is a lot different than what Wink did. It's a lot different than what Rex did. You know, it really doesn't feel like Baltimore defense. Really watching it.
Seems like the Bills also give Lamar Jackson fits because they only rush 4 and they play a shit ton of zones. So everyone could be staring at Lamar. So when he does decide to run, there will be people running.
Well, and also, I mean, I think traditionally as well, since I would argue since this kind of new age Bills Ravens, matchup has happened with Lamar, the Bills are one of the only teams that consistently have Lamar's number. I'm gonna go Ravens. I think this is gonna be a close game. I think the Bills will win it, but I'm gonna go Ravens.
So I like what you guys said there as far as the, given Lamar fits, and I think a lot of that has to do with having a great outside linebacker core, as well as in the Bills' case, they utilize the nickel defense and have a sure tackle in both those positions. And lucky for the Bills, those are the 2 positions that have not been affected in Taron Johnson and Matt Milano, who actually have, both actually been playing pretty well this year. So I think that's going to help the Bills. Also, it depends, in my opinion, based on weather. They're talking that this hurricane might make its way up the coast by the time the game starts. So obviously it's not going to be a hurricane up in Baltimore, but it's still going to have remnants, wet, sloppy weather. In that case, it could favor the Ravens. Obviously running the ball compared to the Bills' passing attack, depending on how much rain and sloppiness you actually do get here.
Baltimore doesn't run the ball that well.
Yeah, you're right. But I mean, with as we were talking with
Dobbins having another week back in the system and getting healthy, that might be an impact. But
I think one of the big things as well,
Dobbins last week, you didn't even know he played.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think one of the big ones as well is Ronnie finally fucking gonna play? Is Ronnie Stanley finally gonna fucking play at left tackle? Because we have our 4th string left tackle, who's actually our 3rd string right tackle playing right now in Falele.
Good for you. At least you have starting offensive linemen. That's cool. No, the Bills, offensive line, our right guard's currently in concussion protocol.
Oh.
Our right tackle was out last week with heat-related illness. Our starting center was out last week, and then our backup continued to get hurt. So yeah, we have the left side of our line, so that's kind of cool. So, but that comes back down to, especially if it does rain, being able to handle the ball out of center, which the Bills can't do without Mitch Morse under center. So, that's a big injury key to me. But obviously, I'm going the Bills because I'm a homer. So,
yep. Only reason why I'm Ravens. Commanders at Cowboys.
Come on, you guys believing in the Cooper train yet, guys?
I said earlier in the season I'm not picking the Commanders until fucking Wentz is not the quarterback. I'm going Cowboys.
I told you guys earlier this week. I think what's his face their OC.
Kellen Moore.
Well, you think Dak Prescott is potentially out over here, and you think Cooper Rush could be the answer too?
No, I don't think that. I think Kellen Moore is a very good offensive coordinator when he has average talent. Right now, they have average talent. So I think their offense has been good. He's very good at keeping them in close games. And I think Carson Wentz will just make a mistake that costs him the game because he does it every week.
Fedge?
So, like I said, I'm picking the Cowboys.
Okay.
Even though I don't think Dak Prescott is also the answer for them.
See, I think we've already talked about this. I'll keep this brief from our other conversations. But I just, back to Kellen Moore, I don't want to say he expects too much, but his play calling is so erratic when he has Dak Prescott back there. It's wild, the difference. I'm waiting because I like Cooper Rush coming back, or playing even more or even better this week, I should say, because they're actually getting another receiver back in Michael Gallup. It was a chance he played last week. He didn't end up suiting up. I think he does suit up this week, which is huge. He might be on a little bit of a snap count, because of his injury from last year, but I mean, that's huge. Just come back. I mean, CeeDee Lamb's out there trying to do what he can, dropping balls and stuff. I almost swore there. I apologize for my listeners that listen because of me. But yeah, I think Michael Gallup coming back's going to be nice. It'd be interesting how they utilize him, and I like the Cowboys. I mean, we've talked about this, and the Commanders, they like to make games interesting late. But I think
Carson Wentz likes to make games interesting.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's why he's one of the top fantasy quarterbacks right now, because he likes to get garbage minutes. Which, whatever, doesn't matter. I'm not picky here. That's the way to do it in fantasy. I don't care when you score. You give me points, right? But yeah, no, I like the Cowboys right now. The defense is still playing really good. They have a really solid 1-2 punch with Pollard and Zeke. Zeke's looking good. It's nice that he can. I was even talking to some of my buddies. I couldn't even tell you last time that Pollard, let alone anyone outside of Zeke, got back-to-back drives without Zeke being injured. But Pollard was running so well last game, they gave him back-to-back drives.
Good for him.
And it happened more than once in the game. I mean, that's good. You're going to keep him fresh going later in the year. I'm going to go Cowboys. I like what they're doing down there. And, I like to see QB controversy. Not that I think there's going to be or should be one, but I would love to see it. See what Jerry does.
So, next up, we have the Seahawks at the Lions. Is this one that we even need to talk about?
Go Lion Mane.
Lions.
I just hope so. So there's a little bit of a concern here if you're a Lions fan. Just as far as the running back position with DeAndre Swift, they're saying actually they're going to try to get him back to full health. They're going to leave him out till after their bye week, which I believe is week 6. So that means he's going to be out for 4 weeks total, or he'll be playing in 4 weeks. So he'll be missing 3 weeks total. So that is a little bit of concern. We'll see what Jamal can do. I believe Reynolds is coming in as their backup, so he can kind of play that more of a receiving back role there. But I still want to see when Jameson's coming back. When is he going to be back? And the thing is, if you keep winning, you don't rush him back.
Oh, yeah, no.
I completely agree with that. But on the same side of things, now you got Amon-Ra St. Brown. Sorry, everyone.
The sun god.
St. Brown nursing injuries too as well, so they're a little depleted. Let Jared cook. All right, go. Sorry, Lions.
Seahawks are not good.
Rob, you going Lions here?
Yes.
I'm gonna lock them up too. By the way, sorry.
Oh, okay. I was wondering. I was waiting. I'm like, no one's locked anyone up yet. This is fucking.
Lock it.
Chargers and Texans.
I'm actually gonna go with the Texans here mainly because of injuries to the Chargers. The Chargers are extremely injured right now.
Not to mention they have probably one of the worst head coaches in the league. Yeah, throw that out there.
Their receiver Guyton was placed on IR. Their tight end Barnes questionable. Their center's questionable. J.C. Jackson's still questionable. Keenan Allen's still questionable. Joey Bosa's out right now. Rayshon.
Oh, is he out? That's my question was okay.
Rayshon Slater is undergoing additional testing to see if he gets put on IR. Their other tight end is at not to mention their QB has fucking torn rib cartilage or whatever.
I was gonna say you said as soon as I heard Slater and Joey Bosa, now I'm going Texans.
Yeah, they just
fuck it, Texans.
It should be an easy win for the Chargers. Hopefully they can rely on their run game, but I don't know what the fuck's blocking for them. So I'm at the Chargers. The Texans. I mean, if Davis Mills can get out of his own fucking way, they have a good chance to actually win some games here. And the AFC South is so bad, who the hell knows? But he needs to get out of his own fucking way. He's got Daniel Jones fucking problems right now.
Mm-hmm.
I like the way that Dameon Pierce has been running the ball lately. They finally gave him a full workload last week, and he took full advantage of it. I do like the Texans at home, but I still got to go with the better team, the better quarterback. Even injured, he's still better than Mills. I think he's going to will him to a victory here. I'm going to go with the Chargers in this one.
Okay.
So.
The Titans at Indianapolis.
See, this one's freaking interesting, dude. First off, this game's always close, no matter what. Like, every year, close games they play. Like, it's wild to me. But on the same side of things, like, you get both versions. Like, Titans looked good last week, looked horrible against the Bills, looked meh against the Giants week 1. And then you got the freaking Colts who, horrible week 1 against the Texans, get a tie. Next week, you get blown out by the Jaguars, which we all have admitted they are better than originally anticipated.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. But then you go down and you beat the freaking Chiefs for your first win. Like, what is going on with this team? Like, they can't,
Yeah.
I'm
going with the home team. I'm gonna pick the Colts. Matt Ryan seems to be finally getting into a rhythm.
He's starting to get it now.
Yeah, so this is a toss-up game, but I'm going to go with the Colts and assume that their running game will get going. And I also just trust Matt Ryan more than I trust Ryan Tannehill. I think Tannehill's a horrible quarterback.
See, and that's where I'm going to go as well. I'm going to go Colts as well. I don't like Tannehill, and I just think that the roster-wise, I think Indianapolis is better. They just need to, I think, maybe they just needed to get the fucking, the rust off a little bit, and now they're going to start rolling. But I'm going Indy.
Yeah, this is a tough one. I mean, you really haven't seen Derrick Henry go off yet, and I don't know if this is going to be the week. Again, they're still missing Leonard in the middle of the defense, which is still mind-boggling for me. It's literally in a bottle. But yeah, I guess we're going to go with the proven back here right now, and Jonathan Taylor and the Colts. I'm going to have to agree with you guys. We'll go with them.
All right, and fighting for the number 1 draft pick, it's the Bears and the Giants.
Aren't the Bears 2-1?
Probably. I think they both are 2. I think both teams are 2-1.
They're both 2-1. Yes.
Fighting for the number. We already missed the number 1 draft pick with the Falcons way back when. Come on, dude. This actually should be a pretty good game, though. I mean, both teams are. It's not gonna be a good game. I got the Giants here. Wink's gonna give Fields fits. I don't know if Montgomery's playing. Herbert looked really good last week in his replacement, but I just don't trust Fields with a blitz-heavy defense that I think Wink's going to come at. Also, we need someone to step up for Daniel Jones. Guy's looking good right now. He just lost Lito Shepherd. Yes, I know it's not really Lito, but just lost my boy Lito Shepherd. And is that his real name?
I mean, they got freaking they got Kenny Golladay just kind of there somewhere. I mean, he could.
No, Kenny Galladay's garbage, dude. He's probably the worst receiver ever. Someone needs to pay them some draft picks, get it off their books, get rid of him. Kenny Galladay's gone. Get him out of there. He sucks.
Ask Arizona to do that. They've already done it once so
bring him
far.
in there to be your number 1 receiver. He's not. You got what? Richie James is going to come over. David Sills is playing better than him, dude. Freaking garbage. Get him off the field. He should not see the field anymore. Still going Giants. I love my boy Wink.
I'm going Giants as well. I like you said, they're gonna give fucking Fields fits. And also, I didn't realize it until I was watching some stuff the last couple of days. Thibodeau's back. I didn't realize that Thibodeau was back. So I'm excited to see how Thibodeau does in that defense.
Oh yeah, he was back. He was playing limited snaps last week. Yeah.
I'm excited to watch him play because I actually really like Thibodeau.
Yeah. If he can he's another one that he can get out of his own way, dude. He's just, cockiness from the get-go, obviously, as we talked pre-draft. But, if he can get out of his own way, he should be a good player, especially in Wink's defense. So.
Yeah. The only thing that concerns me with the Giants is that Fields can run, and they play so much man-to-man that if he's able to get out of the pocket and run, he can make a lot of shit happen against a blitzing man-to-man team. But I think the Giants are just better overall. Although I do think the Bears' defense is much better than they get credit for.
Okay.
Oh, for sure. I said it, from the get-go. I like the Bears. I mean, they had the pieces to build around. And I love the hiring of Eberflus. And it's even more so that he was the reason the Colts defense has been. I mean, you guys know how much I love the Colts last year, their defense.
Mm-hmm.
Eberflus just freaking has people flying around, dude. That's the best part. It's awesome. It's awesome. So,
all right, now talking about kind of an underrated showing up out of nowhere. Jaguars at Eagles.
yes, this should not. I'm not gonna say it's not gonna be a game, but it shouldn't be a game. The Eagles really are just that good.
Put it down. Doug
What did you just say?
Peterson gets his revenge on the fucking Eagles.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
You just lock it up.
He just locked up
Lock
the
it up.
Jaguars.
lock
my
it
goodness.
up.
I mean, we know the Jaguars are.
I'm going
really good. And
Eagles.
honestly, they'll be competing here. I mean, Lawrence looked real good last week. He's still coming into his own. Still a long, young, straight hair flowing, guy there. Maybe you should get some curls in there, and maybe he'll start playing a little bit better. But, yeah, I still can't go away from the Eagles, dude. The Eagles are a good-looking team.
Yeah, no,
Really
I think it's
are.
gonna be. I think it's gonna be a good game.
Trevor Lawrence right now is completing just under 70% of his passes. He's only thrown one pick this season, and he's tearing up people being smart with the football. And I honestly think the Jaguars are a playoff team. I think they're going to make the playoffs. I think they might make.
Of course, they're going to make the playoffs. They're probably going to win that freaking division. That division's garbage right now.
I think they might win a playoff game. I think their defense is playing.
It's
really.
I mean, it's easy to win a playoff, especially. I mean, we've seen it multiple times, and you hate it. They could sneak in at this year 10-7, say they get in the playoffs. They might win that division at 10-7.
Where they're playing right now, dude, they're not finishing 10-7.
Oh my goodness! Here we go, Mr. Overreactor over here.
They still get to play Houston twice.
Can we start our own segment here? It's gonna be called Rob Overreaction Wednesdays. I want to start a new segment.
The Roar.
Yeah, Overreaction Wednesdays.
I don't hear it next week when they beat the Eagles. I don't want to hear it.
Final 1:00 game. We got Jets at Steelers. I'm locking it up. Jets.
You're not locking up Joe Flacco again.
Third week in a row, baby.
Up last week.
You do know that the Jets just lost their other right tackle.
Jets. Joe fucking Flacco.
George Fant is now on the IR, so now they're down to their 8th string tackles.
That's fine. He's used to that playing Pittsburgh.
And Quincy Williams is out.
That's gonna hurt a little bit.
Quincy can't get along with his team coordinator doing the freaking yelling match over there.
Just so you're clear, Greg Sennett. This is the Jets' offensive tackles. Greg Sennett, IR. Mekhi Becton, IR. Dwayne Brown, IR. George Fant, IR. So they're down to their starting.
Did he say he picked the Jets to win? No, he said Jets, Joe fucking Flacco.
Yeah.
So he doesn't care about that, okay? Joe Flacco's playing. Was he on the injury report?
No, and just so you know, it is not.
Then he's going with the fucking Jets. I'm picking the
not
Steelers.
been
The Steelers are going to
Joe
run. Najee Harris running wild.
Hasn't been determined that Joe Flacco is the starter this week.
Oh,
Zach Wilson is getting evaluated on Thursday to see if he is cleared to play.
No chance they play him.
Just letting you know.
I'm just saying, no chance they play him.
This is the final game of Daddy Joe coming back and spanking the AFC North. Other than he hasn't spanked, he's gonna spank half of it, just half of the AFC North.
Next.
So you going Steelers?
Yes. There are 3 teams that were picked: Seattle, the Jets, and the Falcons.
Cardinals at Panthers. Veg, you're gonna like this. I'm going Panthers.
Yeah, we are.
Yes, we are.
Across the board.
Arizona blows, dude.
They should have.
Arizona, they got lucky last week from again. Or no, it wasn't even last week. It was 2 weeks ago, wasn't it?
They got lucky last week and still lost.
And still lost. How amazing is that?
I love the. Was one of the Mannings that said they should have gave the $200 million to the punter?
Yes, that was on the Manning podcast.
Yeah.
But again, last week, what's the difference, Rob?
That wasn't for this game. That was for the 49ers game.
Oh. Whatever.
It wasn't for it was actually the Broncos game. Fuck the 49ers, they lost.
Yeah. Yes.
But anyway, it's the same game. It's the 49ers Broncos. But anyway, so my problem with the Cardinals right now is they had to use all 4 of their freaking downs plus penalties plus everything else to mount that comeback against the Raiders, who are a garbage team with a garbage head coach. Josh McDaniels is not a head coach, guys. We've known that. We talked about this. He's not a head coach. Okay? But here it is. So last week against the Rams, that was the difference in the game. Prater hit a 23-yard field goal. Guys, you know what that means? They were at the freaking 5-6 yard line. Couldn't punch it in. A 43-yard field goal. They were inside the 20 again. A 49-yard field goal. Just outside. And a 31-yard field goal. Again, guys, they can't score when they're down in the red zone. They can't finish off drives. They kicked 4 field goals last week.
And they had 400 yards of offense, and they kicked 4 field goals.
Yeah, well, so the thing is that I think they're going to be better once they get what's his name back?
The best receiver in the NFL?
Yeah, I mean, they'll be better for sure. But Colin's going to love this stat. Who leads the league right now in most targets without a drop?
Without a drop, it's probably going to be Hollywood Brown because fucking...
Hollywood
Yeah.
motherfucking Brown.
Fuck him.
Well, he had like 14 catches last week or some shit like that.
Yeah, he has 24 catches for 251 yards.
Targets last week. 17 targets.
Yeah,
That's wild.
I'll start picking them once fucking Hopkins comes back, but until
I'm not saying I'm picking them. No, I'm not going with the Cardinals. I'm just saying they're bad because they can't finish drives. They can't finish drives because they don't have that guy over the middle, the guy in the middle, that red zone target in Hopkins, and honestly, Ertz is still injured too, so they don't have a big guy, even in the middle in red zone too. So they're struggling. I mean, and that's why they're going to continue to struggle. I don't mean to keep this going longer than it should, but yeah, I mean, I like the Panthers. I think Christian McCaffrey finally gets a touchdown here. I mean, I think he scored 1 in week 1, but I mean, he's still been dreadful to watch.
Laviska Shenault finally scored one. Woo!
Yeah, from about 77 million yards out. It was wild.
Yeah!
After catch.
Yeah, it was a screen.
All right. Panthers across the board. Let's go.
Patriots at Packers.
Here's a nice stat for you. Did you know Brian Hoyer? Okay, Brian Hoyer has lost his last 11 starts, which is...
Are they starting Hoyer?
Who else would they start?
Zappy.
Did Zappy...
Didn't we see this guy's... What?
He hasn't even been dressed for the first 4 games.
Didn't we see this guy on the Facebooker say that Zappy's going to be the next Tom Brady? That's what I saw.
Oh my god.
I don't know if Colin saw it, but I saw it from a guy on Facebook, so it's got to be true.
It's got to be true. He's never wrong.
Never wrong.
I'm going Packers.
Never seen him be wrong. Yeah, going Packers. Packers actually looked pretty good last week against a pretty good defense in Tampa. So, no, yeah, I like it. I go Packers. And they're at home too, so that always helps out.
Yeah. And Rob is going.
Oh, Packers too. The Pats have no chance.
I love.
Talking of no
He's
chance,
just like,
really? They're playing some dude whose first name is Little over fucking Michael Bourne or Kendrick Bourne, whatever the fuck his name is.
Kendrick Bourne.
Yeah.
Michael Bourne, isn't he the guy from?
That's Matt Damon.
That's Jason Bourne.
Yeah, that's Matt Damon. Oh, it's Jason Bourne. Fuck it.
Broncos at Raiders.
This isn't a movie podcast. This is a football podcast. Next.
Broncos Raiders.
This is going to be the shit show of all shit shows. Can I re-up my last? First off, the Broncos being 2-1. Good for you guys, because I don't know how the fuck you're doing it. I don't know. I just don't know.
Broncos country. Let's ride.
Yeah, I think you got to go with the home team here. I don't know. The Raiders have to win, right? They got to win one.
I'm going the Raiders.
Are the Raiders the home team?
Yes.
Yeah, it's in Vegas, so. But
I'm going Raiders.
This is another one. Okay, so can we just give a shout out here? When you think of bad coaches in the NFL, who are we thinking right now? Zach Staley, Josh McDaniels, Nathaniel Hackett has to be up there, right?
Nathaniel Hackett's the first fucking person I'm naming.
Oh my goodness, dude, these guys are bad. Like bad. I don't know what Nathaniel Hackett brings to your team. I don't even know how he got a head coaching job.
Broncos country. Let's ride.
Oh,
You're not going with the Broncos. Raiders.
No, I'm going Raiders. I just like saying it because it's the stupidest fucking thing, and that's all I've ever heard this whole offseason. Let's Broncos country. Let's ride.
If both of these teams are smart, they start losing so that they can draft a fucking quarterback.
But Broncos country. Let's ride.
If they get a high enough pick, they can actually go out and trade draft picks for a good head coach instead.
Yeah, that's true.
That's probably what they should do.
Rob, I'm assuming you're going Raiders.
Shit, we really fucked up with getting these guys that we did.
I'm going Raiders, and it will be another wonderfully exciting 11-9 football game.
It was 11-10.
The worst part is that Denver won 11-9, and it wasn't because their defense played well.
It was just
like,
bad.
That was the frustrating part. It's just like these teams fucking foe.
We talked about this. That was the worst game I think I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
That was just a bad game.
That was worse than the game that had 85-mile-per-hour winds and the Patriots threw the ball twice. It was worse.
It was. You're not lying.
I mean, it's
that one was a good defensive game.
That game was worse. What was the Tebow game where they won like 3-0 or whatever the fuck it was?
That doesn't matter because at least they had a star in Tim Tebow on the field.
Broncos country, let's ride.
That's not a star. Russell Wilson is washed up and fucking put a fork in him.
Broncos country.
So my question is,
worst
they actually started looking
ever signed.
Did you guys? That's not true. Did you see Sean Watson's contract? I don't want to remind you of that.
Yeah.
So
just wait.
You see Kyler Murray's?
When he comes back, they all of a sudden,
when he comes back, they're going to be out of playoff contention, so they'll probably put him on the bench. 13 games. Shut up. No, can we just? So, did you guys watch the end of the Broncos 49ers game last week on Sunday?
I turned it off.
So the end of the game actually was interesting to me, and I'm still not going with the Broncos, but Russ started using his legs a little more. For whatever reason, he hasn't done it this year yet, and I don't know why. Like, I understand that Garrett Bowles is a shitty left tackle, and he shouldn't be there. And really, I mean, they really don't have a great offensive line.
3 years ago.
What?
Their first-round pick from like 3 years ago.
I don't care. So was Mekhi Becton. Does he do anything? No. Like, who the fuck cares when he was a first-round pick for?
He's good when he's healthy.
He's decent when healthy if he's got his weight under control. He's out there looking like Eddie Lacy. That's pretty rude, actually. So anyway, so he started looking better when he was using his feet and being able to scramble a little bit, and that's when it kind of opened up because it was able to, like, these linebackers were just sitting back in these zones, so Judy couldn't cut behind, Sutton couldn't cut behind, and then Russell started using his legs a little bit. Then you had to start spying him, which keeps the guy out of protection. Sutton was able to get open on the side. It opens it up so much when you have a versatile quarterback like that. And the thing is, he is, and he's been that his whole life. Especially in Seattle when they freaking spent, $2 million on all, 14 starters, their offensive line combined? Like, they have these guys all on freaking vet minimums. But I just don't understand why he doesn't do that more. Do you think it's a Nathaniel Hackett thing? Like, don't run the ball. Stay in the pocket and let the play go.
If you look at the big picture, right? Broncos country, let's ride.
Yeah, Broncos country, let's ride.
Technically, that's not him running. That's him riding. So that means he's just sitting back doing nothing, and everyone else has to do the stuff.
They're not as good as back when Peyton Manning was just able to ride off into the sunset, dude. So, and I think that's what Russ was hoping for. They're not that team.
No.
So, anyway, we can get off this. The game's gonna be shitty. Both coaches are bad. There's gonna be some bad, adjustments. It's just gonna be a bad game. It really will. I mean, and I can even see it honestly being really high scoring because the defenses really aren't even that good. So the game sucks. It's a horrible game.
So we got Sunday Night Football is Chiefs at Buccaneers.
This will be a good game.
It should be. The only problem is, did you guys know this? I didn't know it until I heard it on the game last week. I just heard it in passing. So right now Tampa's only scored 3 offensive touchdowns this year so far.
Yeah.
Mm.
Which don't get me wrong, because obviously Mike Evans was out last game. You literally signed old man Cole Beasley. Godwin has been out since week 1, halfway through week 1 when he decided to do whatever to his hamstring. I understand they're injured, but this is still Tom Brady we're talking. I mean, I'm not. He is obviously getting older. He's probably lost a little bit on the arm and everything. Whatever. But
I mean, when he throws the Kindle down to the ground, that's a throw attempt, and he's putting a lot into that. So it's at least like 2 throw attempts at the end of the game added to it.
Probably is honest. I mean, he does spike that shit pretty hard.
All right, like that's not a nice gentle.
So it'll be. I mean, I like the Bucks. It's gonna be because this is the first time they've met since the Super Bowl. Anyone know on that? Did they play last year?
I don't think they played last year.
So it's going to be interesting. Obviously back in Tampa, it'll be interesting game. I think Tampa's defense is still good. We'll see what they can do without Tyreek Hill against a good defense. I mean, they looked really good. You know what I mean? So it'll be interesting. I'm going to go with the home team, and in my opinion, the better defense. And I think a lot of it's going to come back. Obviously, Mike Evans is coming back. If Godwin actually has a chance to play this week, they said. So if he comes back, I really do like their chances, especially with Russell Gage looking real good last week. He was the only bright spot of that offense, really. So now that it sucks because as far as for Tampa, but Julio, he's nursing like a PCL injury or something like that. So it's like
when is he not nursing something?
Well, exactly. That's what I'm saying. He can't catch a break. That guy's injured all the time. That's crazy. But so I like Tampa if Godwin plays. I think they'll have a solid with, Evans, Godwin, and Russell Gage. They can get them all on the field. You're going to be able to run the ball with Larry there, but they're going to need some playoff Larry if they want to win this game. So, but I like Tampa. I'm going to go Tampa in this one. It's going to be a good game. It might actually be one of the best games this week, I think.
I'm going to go Tampa 2.
Oh yeah, you're going cover 2?
Yeah. But I'm also going to say, I think that this is going to be I think that we could potentially, I'll word it like that, could potentially be starting to see a little bit of cracks happening in Kansas City. If you guys saw Mahomes and the OC there.
Bieniemy.
Yeah, Bieniemy. Yep, them getting into it a little bit. And then at the end of the game, Mahomes basically being like, yeah, he didn't want to go for it. I wanted to go for it.
Did you see LaShawn McCoy's comments on that?
No.
Oh my goodness! I'm gonna look them up because I don't want to.
So I'm gonna that's what I'm saying. Potential. We could potentially see some cracks if that continues because they lost as well, right? So that at halftime they lost. Then him coming out afterwards and saying that I wanted to go for it, but he didn't. That sort of thing. Now there's also apparently McCoy has some comments on it. I think that this could start seeing the cracks of this, and it could potentially go downhill for the Chiefs here with that. But I'm going to go Tampa, though, because I think Tampa is the better team.
I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
Oh. Was not expecting that.
You guys are, I mean, I've seen it for 20 years. Tom Brady always starts slow. Every season he starts slow. Because he lives in the world that the first fucking month doesn't matter. Which, now that there's more games, it really doesn't fucking matter. So... And he missed, a week and a half, 2 weeks of fucking preseason. So Tampa Bay will eventually find their rhythm and find their groove. But I think I like what Kansas City's offense has been doing. And I think it's a good group that they're in right now. So I think that they're going to pull
it. Real quick, what part of their offense do you like?
It's balanced.
So my issue with their offense is they don't have a true number one receiver that they actually use. Okay? So if you look, I mean, obviously Mahomes does a great job spreading the ball around. His numbers are still there. He has over 850 yards, 8 touchdowns, 1 pick this year. My issue is still the running game. It's not talked about. The Bills, are talked about how they don't have a running game. The leading rusher for the Chiefs is 116 yards through 3 games. It's not good. It's not good at all. Their leading receiver is Travis Kelce at 230, and then Juju at 178, and then a running back at 115. That's an issue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what?
I didn't say that they're the same offense that they've been. I just like what.
Oh no, I just as far as balance, I mean, I guess you balance if you, but that's my concern with their offense is they don't have that, like I said, that true number one they could use. And honestly, I still think they brought in Juju to be that, which he isn't.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I agree that I'm not going to say that they're bad. I mean, obviously Andy Reid's a great head coach / offensive minded brilliance, which I think is really big on this year. And the Chiefs will go make adjustments and they'll be fine. But I mean, I don't know. It's just defenses tend to win these games early in the year more so than late, and that's why, like you just said, it's not the end of the world if they lose the beginning of the year, and that's why I don't think they're putting too much emphasis on these games early.
Yeah.
So. But I don't know. So anyway, real quick, LaShawn McCoy, this is from back in May that he said this. He goes, there's a reason why every year they keep hyping him up as head coaching job or an OC job elsewhere, and he doesn't get one. He talks to players a certain way, and some players would take it. Look, LaShawn goes, I wouldn't take it. There's some questions I'm going to ask. Everyone's accountable. It's not because he's a black coach. That's not the reason. No one hires him because they know what type of coach he really is. So then after this whole thing happened, LaShawn McCoy tweeted out, let me find it here. Where'd it go? He responds with, all Bieniemy does is argue with the players. Knows nothing about passing or play calling. That speaks a lot. I mean, is LaShawn McCoy bitter? I'm gonna say he's probably a little bit of that is bitter because they probably didn't get along for his one season they were there, which I understand, whatever. But on the same side of things, there's got to be some truth to it. You know what I mean? Like, no players really nowadays are just going to go out, and especially LaShawn McCoy, like, he's never really had any issues with calling people out like that. So I don't think he's just going to go out to just make controversy.
Yeah.
So out of his mouth, it's weird. You know what I mean? It's just something's going on, something's wrong, and it's just, like I said, it could be a Bieniemy issue. Throwing it out there. But all right, let's move on.
Final Monday night, Rams at Niners.
Rams.
I saw Jimmy G step out of the back of the end zone. I saw their punter punt 7 times last game. I'm not sure how much worse it can get. They are lucky because they're at home this week. But the Rams are starting to hit their jam. I don't know. I'm going Rams as well.
Yeah, I'm going Rams. I will say this, though. I do love the fact that Dan Orlovsky was like, freedom! But at the same time, Jimmy G, stepped out of the backfield just going straight backwards. Dan Orlovsky literally was just ran out of the back.
he took an Amari Cooper type stroll out of bounds, dude. Like, it was completely different plays. They both lost where they were on the field, but completely different plays. They can't be compared.
And then, of course, I was saying about it to Rob. Did you see that Sanchez came out with the butt pump thing? The thing was like, "Hey, I got my freedom too." It's like, no, you didn't.
Yeah. So
no, you didn't.
Again, I don't think so.
No.
Sanchez, you ran into the back of your guy. What's his name? He didn't punt it into the back of his guy. That personal protector's got to know to step up, not take steps backwards. I actually saw a thing about some guy who says he's analyzed every punt this year in the NFL. And the Dolphins punter has the shortest steps to kick.
Interesting.
Like, he has the quickest, shortest approach, I guess I'm going to call it. Shortest approach to punt. So for that to happen, I mean, that personal protector, in my opinion, just lost where he was. But on the same side of things, a lot of people say that actually helped the Dolphins out.
Okay.
Because, I mean, after that happened, they were able to punt off the safety, and that dude hit a boomer.
A fucking
boomer. I think it went to our 8-yard line is where we got it. Freaking boomed it. So, I mean, then, it's crazy. But either way, it was crazy. So, was fun games this weekend. A lot of cool bounces like that. I feel bad for my last note here. I feel real bad for all the Chase Claypool bettors out there for his over yardage. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Nope.
So what happens with he was bottom line. So he was at 41 yards. Okay, his over under was 35 and a half. He was at 41 yards till the end of the game. Okay.
Oh.
The last play of the game, the ball goes to Deontay Johnson, who gets credit for the reception. He then lateraled it to
Claypool.
To Chase Claypool, who then laterals it to someone else. He loses those yardage. He ended up losing 6 yards on that play. And taking a bad
I'm 100% okay with that, because ever since last year, where he got up, celebrated, then refused to give the ball up, then gave the ball up, and then yelled at the offensive line. No, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
But anyways,
it's just funny. I love those bad beats, So,
Rob, any last words?
No. I'm not into the NFL this week because of how poor the NFL product was last week. So until it gets to be a good product, I'm not very interested, to be honest.
Fair. All right, let us know what you guys' picks are. Let us know how you guys are doing down in the comments down below. And as always, depending on where you are, morning, afternoon, even night, still trouble, stay safe, and we'll talk to y'all later. Bye.